Hey everyone, in this video we're going to take a look at CCC's 2019 Senior Problem 1, Flipper. Firstly, I'm going to read the question and we're going to solve it together. You are trying to pass the time wheel at an optometrist. You notice there's a grid of 4 numbers. You see lots of mirrors and lenses as an optometrist and wonder how flipping the grid horizontally or vertically would change the grid. Specifically, a horizontal flip would take the original grid of 4 numbers and result in this one. A vertical flip would take the original grid of 4 numbers and result in this one. Your task is to determine the final orientation of the numbers in grid after a sequence of horizontal and vertical flips. The input consists of one line composed of the sequence at its and at most is it 1 million? I don't know, it's just like a lot of characters. Each character is either H representing a horizontal flip or a V representing a vertical flip. Forget about this line. And moving to output is the final form of the grid after flipping. And the input is a line of operation, instruction for operation. We need to deal with our grid. So let's get into our code. So firstly, we're gonna create the grid. One, two, three, four. So this part is fixed. No matter what kind of input gonna be, it will always be 1, 2, 3, 4. And after that, we're gonna define 2 methods. One is horizontal, passing the grid. So basically, you can notice here a horizontal flip across the horizontal center line. So basically, it is like flipping the rows. Flipping the order of rows. So the first row gonna go to the second. So in computer science, if what we are dealing with our array is a 2D array is the second subarray goes to index first, the first index, and it is not hard to do that. We're just like swapping 2 elements. To swap elements, it is important to have a temp to store additional storage for one of the elements you want to swap. Let's see, right now I'm gonna swap zeros, store zeros, and the zeros will just So after defining the horizontal flip, we're going to define the vertical flip. Same goes to vertical. We're still gonna need 2 times, 2 times or 1 time, but I think I found it. If we have 2 times, it will be easier to understand. So for vertical flip, we're essentially flipping the columns order. So the second column goes to the first, and the first goes to the second. But it is harder or more complicated because we cannot directly accessing the columns through the 2D array. So we can indirectly take every element out and rearrange them in like this. So it will still be the first row, second row. Wait a sec. I mean, the first row still gonna stay as the first row. It's just like the order of elements in the first row change. So what was the second element of the first row goes to the second, and what was the first element of the first row goes to the second. Wait, it sounds weird. I'm kind of confused myself. So it's basically the second one goes to the first one goes to the second. And okay, we already done the defining work, and now we're just gonna process the input and do the operation of flipping. So we're gonna create an instruction string, store the input. The input will be all V or H, and we're gonna transverse through them. So for I in range length of the instruction, and we're gonna check if instructions as index equals to V. So if that's the case, we're gonna perform a vertical flip for the grid. If it isn't, it can only be H, so we're just gonna do a horizontal for the grid. So after we transfer after the for loop, all we need to do is print it. So I shouldn't use I. Maybe I should just use I. In the grid for J in I. And we're gonna print J plus comma n equals to. So what this does, it's like adding an end value to what we are printing, and it prevents us from starting a new line. So however, after we print each subarray, we're still gonna print nothing just to start a new line. And this is our code. Let's see if it works. Flipper. So let's type in HV first. 4321 seems like it's correct, and let's just put in the answer, submit it. Okay, it shows us where our solution is correct. So I'm gonna do some summary. There are some important technique to solve this question. I think the most important one is how to swap two elements, because it's like swapping water or liquid between two bottle or two cup. You cannot just like directly swapping them. You have to get another container to store one of them first, and you're gonna use the other to pour into that one, and then you're gonna pour that one with the liquid. So it is kind of confusing. So it's like here. Okay, it's like you have 3 and 4. So if you directly put 4, so if you want to switch this to number, you need to create a new place to store. For example, we're gonna store 3 at an additional place. So it will be like this. So now we can. So that's like additional storage. And now if we change the 3 to 4 to the other value, it will be like 4. And we have 3 over here, so we won't lose the value of 3. And now we can change the 4 to 3. And that's a temp. That's what this one does. And essentially it is just like keeping the data in it, so we will not losing it during the process of swapping it. And using for loop is also important. You need to know how to transfer a string. Yeah, I think basically it is not too hard. So I hope you understand this question after seeing this video. Okay, thank you for watching. Bye.